Welcome back to Sports Extra. How many basketball coaches can say they have succeeded in coaching both young men and women? Pueblo South boys basketball coach Shannon Lane can. She won almost 250 games as Pueblo South's girls basketball coach, including a state championship. After taking a year off, she took the boys' job at South and quickly has won almost 60 games in 3 years. On Thursday, she won her 300th career game in 14 years as a head basketball coach. She has averaged 21 wins a season. On the brink of her milestone, I sat down with Coach Lane this week and took a stroll down memory lane. What's the best thing about coaching?
I think looking back at these players once they have graduated and they come back and give you that special hug, you know.
It's rewarding, isn't it?
It is.
You take it to him, Harvey. You get after it, okay? Make a mess up. Team on three. 1, 2, 3, team up!
What's the biggest difference between coaching girls and boys? Because I know in coaching both, boys don't always listen.
Actually, I had a player after a team meeting say, Coach, I know we don't listen like girls. I had to laugh, you know. And now that I've had, you know, this being my 3rd year under my belt, I see tremendous differences in not only listening, but, you know, girls are pleasers. They want to please you. They want to do things exactly the way you tell them, which is good, but then it's bad too, because it's like, hey, you weren't open there. You should have back cut, but Coach, you told me to go there, right? And girls, I feel like you're always having to boost up their confidence. Somebody said, you know, girls play well when they feel good about themselves, right? And boys feel good when they play well. I could be yelling at the girls, and every girl in the locker room thinks I'm talking to them. You know, they think that, oh my goodness, this coach is yelling at me. And I could yell the exact same speech to boys, and they think I'm talking about the guy next to them, you know. So
what you're saying
lots
is
of fun,
you've become a master psychologist.
There you go.
Because you've had both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yes, yes.
When somebody says, boy, you're a good coach for a female, is that insulting or is that a compliment?
Good question. I always take things as compliments. I tend to, that's how my brain is wired. I don't always flip the script and think, oh, that guy is trying to dig at me with that comment. So I probably would take that as a compliment. But you're definitely seeing some women cut the mold and break through that mold and that stereotype. It's moving in the right direction for sure.
So you retired in 2019, and much like The Godfather, you think you're out, but they pulled you back in, right?
Yes, they did. They did. Yeah, I really was. I've always had this guilt in the back of my head. I mean, I've been pregnant with both of my sons coaching. My kids have always, I have felt, always been put on the back burner just because I'm a mom that coaches. But my youngest, during that year that I took off, he says, Mom, why did you quit coaching? And I said, to be a mom, you know, to be here for you guys, to follow you around. And he says, why? And it was funny because that's all they've known. I don't think they knew what to do with Mom at home. I really felt like that was the right time for me to get out. Did I know the next year I would be asked to coach the boys? No. And we went for a big long walk and talked about it. Said, do you want Mom back coaching? And what do you feel? Is this something that you want me to do? And with the support of everyone behind me, I just made that jump.
So it was a family decision.
Family decision, and like I said, a godly decision. I always think God knows us really well, and He knows that the door has to be wide open for me to jump through it.
Did you get into coaching because maybe someone impacted your life and you kind of like paying it forward, so to speak?
Obviously, you have to have somebody introduce that to you. My mom was a single mom for my first 7 years. My dad was a college basketball men's coach for 35 years, and he has been all over in different states. But I was raised here with my mom and both sets of grandparents, and my grandfather got me into basketball. You know, at the Y, you could look at pictures, you know, you're 5 years old, And I started playing at 5, and he'd pick me up from middle school. We'd go to the Boys and Girls Club and shoot 100 free throws every day. And so that love for basketball really came from him.
When you found out that you were named the Sportswoman Coach of the Year, what was your initial reaction?
Well, I opened up the email and I didn't know if it was real. So I had to get online and look this thing up. I'm like, okay, this is a real thing, you know. Then I started researching it and understanding, and man, what an honor. I mean, I'm humbled looking at all the people who came, who have won that award, and I'm going, I don't even know why I'm in the same category here for this, but it'll be a great experience.
Pueblo's a special place, and because it's such a tight-knit community, you still have relationships with people you played with, former players that you coached. For those who don't know, explain to me what Pueblo Pride is.
You know, I feel that truly in my heart, and I can't speak for other coaches, but it's wanting Pueblo kids to succeed. There's been parents who have come to me and said, Coach, I want my kid to play for you. I want my kid to play for you. And I look at them and say, I want your kid happy. And if your kid is going to be happy out at Pueblo West, if your kid is going to be happy at Central, at County, let them go there. Because I think the kid's happiness is the most important part. It's not always who you're coached by.
And you can see just by listening to Coach Lane why she has gotten so much out of her players at Pueblo South. 14 years and 300 career wins, outstanding achievement, but more importantly, the impact she has had on both boys and girls at South. By the way, the South Colts boys basketball team will play in the first round of the state high school basketball tournament on Wednesday at home against Denver North. Good luck to the Colts. Thanks for watching Sports Extra.
Thank you for watching KRDO News Channel 13. KRDO 13 is now available on any of these streaming services and devices.